I actually watched it. I don't all the time watch it, but I like to see them when they're standing next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the first true indication of of the height and size differentials that you can get the first time they ever stand. So it's always a good clue. I'm always very interested when Israel first comes eye to eye with someone. I'm particularly just interested in the height differential, and if I can see any reach differential, but that's harder to see. But the actual interaction, the dancing thing, I don't know. I think, I thought it was just, typical Israel. And then they just went back and forth. And, I don't know. I don't think too much of those things. I think Israel just did his thing. And Yoel did his thing. It's it's an interesting dynamic, with those two. There's definitely respect there, but you can see that they both also know how to build a fight.
Yeah.
That they know how to build a fight. You can see that there's an agreement that they have to build that fight, but there's also a mutual respect. So I don't think you're going to see. I don't think you're going to see either one of them, especially Israel, stepping over the line in terms of building the fight. Yeah.
I saw you said recently that you wanted to sort of set a blueprint for beating Romero and to do it in maybe a slightly different way that people kind of expect. What exactly did you mean by that?
Well, we just believe if we can implement the strategy and some of the skills that we want to against Romero, we believe that we can get a different type of victory in the sense that most of Romero, most of the victories that people get over Romero are very controversial and very close. But we just see a different path. And that's only, of course, if we're able to implement our game plan. We believe that we can beat Romero a lot more convincingly than everybody else. But at the end of the day, our goal is always a victory.
I've heard you describe it as sort of like you want an Alex Volkanovski Romero. I guess the way Alex beat Max Holloway. But I'm wondering, is that a case of beating him clearly over 5 rounds, or is that a case of stopping and finishing Romero? And I'm wondering if you feel like that can be done, because people have this perception of Romero as just a tank that keeps on coming.
We want Alex Volkanovski. We want to win all 5 rounds convincingly with no doubt in anyone's mind. That's what Alex did, right? I think everybody can agree on that. I know that's still controversial. I know there's still people that think that fight's close, but that's ridiculous. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. That's the reference I use, because Alex completely dominated that fight every single round. It wasn't close. It was without a doubt, and we want to do the same thing. We never have a game plan to stop Romero, so I'm more talking about just unanimously, without any doubt, beating him. That's what we want to do.
It's interesting because Israel brought up during the press conference how this is, and I guess it's a big selling point for the fight as well, like this is Yoel's possible last chance at winning a title. And he's had so many chances before, so he's expecting, the best version of Yoel Romero. We've seen Yoel come out there, and we've seen him implement a number of, I don't know if they're game plans, but strategies to beat his opponents. And for one fight is different to the other. The only thing that's a constant is he's very dangerous at the end of the fight, and he's very unpredictable. So I'm just wondering, what do you think is the biggest mistake that Romero's past opponents have made in fighting him? And are you anticipating a different Romero yet again in this fight, especially with so much being on the line for him?
I'm not expecting the leopard to change his spots too many times, to be honest. For the most part, I expect to see the Romero that we've seen in previous fights. Biggest mistake. I don't know, like mistakes, like lapses in concentration. One of the biggest mistakes you can make against Romero. He kind of like has this thing where he definitely goes on the defensive and kind of lulls you into thinking that you can be really assertive, and then you lose concentration. Just when you start to think you're getting ascendancy, he's kind of gathering up his next attack, and then he hits you with it. So, losses in concentration is something that we're not going to fall prey to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. Before we move off Yoel, just a quick question on, obviously it was supposed to be Paulo Costa who was supposed to fight Israel Adesanya. Him and Romero had a very close fight. Who do you think is the harder challenge for you and Israel in the camp? Yoel Romero or the Paulo Costa fight?
Paulo Costa and Romero, I mean, they pose, different challenges for us. For us, I mean, Romero is probably a little bit more of a challenge. I'm not going to say he's tougher or he's stronger or he's more explosive, but he's a little bit more of a challenge for us. Paulo Costa, I mean, we've had 100 kickboxing fights against the best opposition there is in the world. I mean, Paulo Costa's he's a good stand-up proponent, but he's not nowhere near in the top echelon of the world like the opposition we've faced. We've seen that version many times. We've seen power hitters, explosive punches. We've seen many better versions of what he does over and over and over again, year after year after year. Romero brings us, a lot different look, a lot different flavor. The wrestling, the explosiveness, the weird, the weird kind of style he has. For us, Romero's a little more of a challenge for us.
Mm-hmm.